So we're going to be making our way today to the final little bit of this game. Probably, right? I can't imagine there being much more than these two levels being left. There's also the fact that I finally did a little bit of Googling for OBS plugins that can allow me to like add in markers mid-recording, which that's a fan-fucking-tastic start, isn't it? So I can now live during recording add timecode timestamps. And that'll help me make shorts a lot quicker. Because as I've talked about a lot in these last like 5 or 6 episodes, I've been doing a lot of shorts. And it's actually a quite time-intensive thing compared to usual editing to make those shorts. Because I have to re-watch the entire video, whereas normal editing does not really require that from fuck me. But now, I can just press a button, and it should automatically make a timestamp into a file, which I can import into Adobe, and it will automatically even cut up the video file for me. So all I need to do at that point is decide at what point the short starts, because the end will already have been marked and cut by the file. So that should cut down on time required to make shorts by quite a bit, and I am frankly terrified because this is not going to go well. This is not going to go well at all. It didn't. So now I'm going to stop talking about shorts, because if I'm talking about shorts, it feels a bit weird to be making shorts. So let's talk about something else, and that is, what are we going to do after this Let's Play ends? I've been talking about it a little bit. The potentiality of doing a Minecraft Let's Play is kind of disappeared, because I've started just playing a Minecraft world on my own time, which has been a lot of fun. Fuck me, that's difficult. Let's see if the button actually works. I've been playing a Minecraft world on my own time, and it's been a lot of fun. I've been looking for a big mountain, because it's a Caves and Cliffs update. So what I want to do is I want to have a mountaintop house, as well as have all my mining done through just pure caving. There we go. And so far that's gone remarkably well, because I found a mountaintop which has access to a huge-ass cave system underneath. So big, in fact, that I am convinced that I will never explore it all. So I am now working on a farm in that world, which is inside of the cave, and it's actually looking pretty good. I'm trying to make it look a little bit like the naturally generating lush caves, but with my farm inside of it. Issue is I've not stumbled across a lush cave yet, so I don't actually know too well what they look like. So Minecraft is not really a realistic option here going forward. Fuck me! Going forward. It's probably going to end up being Sonic Colors. Even though I've talked about the fact that the game I'm making is not very similar to Sonic after all, and more similar to Crash Bandicoot. I've played most Crash Bandicoot games on the channel already, and I don't really want to replay any of them at the moment. Maybe Crash 4, I've only played once, right? So maybe like getting it on... Fucking hell! This is going to be a long episode, I can tell. Maybe getting it on Steam and replaying it in like 4K could be fun. But other than that, I don't really feel any particular need to replay Crash 1, 2, or 3 again. If I were to replay Crash Bandicoot games, it probably would be Crash Bandicoot 1 and 2. Not so much 3, because 3 has a lot of different gameplay styles. And while I personally like that quite a bit, I also think it's definitely something that is not necessarily to the benefit of the game, right? It's very good as a platformer. Some of the other side levels are fun. Most of them, not very. So, And seeing as how I don't plan on having any of the fucking... That's rough, mate. That's real fucking rough. I don't plan on having many like separate gameplay styles from platforming. My separate gameplay styles are different types of platforming, right? I've got full 3D platforming and hallway platforming. So I need to experiment around with games that have those two gameplay styles. Full 3D platforming is fairly easy to come across. I could do a Mario Odyssey Let's Play. Fuck. I could play through Ahead in Time, which I definitely need to do again. But at the moment, I'm more so focusing on the levels in the hallway style. So I need to play hallway platforms. And those are a lot more rare. At least the... Fuck me. I have no excuse for that one. That was just bad. You can tell when I'm... That's kind of funny. You can tell when I press the button because it actually does have an input on screen. Anyway, so the hallway platformers, most of them are like really bad Crash Bandicoot rip-offs. There's a lot of ones made by Disney. Like we have Donald Duck Going Quackers, which is fine. We have the Crash Bandicoot series itself, obviously. We have the Lilo and Stitch game, which is... we have one by Eminem. The candy, not the musician. How do you even... Oh, that's how you get up there. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. There better fucking be a checkpoint sometime soon, because holy fuck, this is not easy. No. Yes. Okay. No. Oh, fuck. That almost went remarkably well, but it did not. Is there any magic that can help me in that situation? I don't think that there is. Invincibility is not going to help me in a bottomless pit. I don't have a double jump or a dash, because that's not a magic. That's a King Knight's ability, as I figured out a while ago. So what else would there be for me to... no. To rely on to like have a little bit more of a leeway with those jumps. I don't think anything other than pure platforming prowess. But that does mean that the difficulty spike there is fucking... Okay, at least I survived this time. The difficulty spike there is real, dude. That being said, I am getting better at this part, so at least there is that. No. Okay, never mind. Upside, I'm getting a shit ton of shorts out of this. It's kind of unreal. I'm loving that. Because the worse I am at a game, and that's also, I'm not gonna lie, part of the consideration of maybe replaying Crash Bandicoot 1 again. I know Crash Bandicoot 1 very well, so I don't expect there to be many stupid deaths on my part. But the more ways I can stupidly die in a game, the more entertaining it tends to be. And I want to choose my next Let's Play on the basis of both research purposes, because that's kind of what this channel is slowly turning into, is just my research projects being recorded. But I also want to make sure that whatever I play is entertaining, right? So it's a tricky mix sometimes. That's all I'm saying. And that went remarkably well. So not even a checkpoint still. You know what? We have magic. So, fuck everything about you. Surely after this we get a... No. Yes. Okay. And it doesn't respawn. I was kind of afraid it was going to respawn there for a moment. Surely this is where we get a checkpoint, right? Not even. Okay, we can do this. This is not a problem. Just don't make any stupid moves. This feels kind of scary. Finally a checkpoint. Yeah. You better fucking give me a good amount of money to redo that every time I die. I'm not going to do that. Like, there's no chance in hell of me taking that checkpoint as a monetary value. That's just not happening. I don't know if the screen will scroll down with me here. I'm expecting it not to, which is actually kind of a fucking problem. Okay, we're safe. We are safe. Now we have bubble platforming, because everybody fucking loves that, don't they? This part, actually, not so bad at the moment. It's gonna get horrible now that I've said that. But so far, I'm not hating it. That being said, I feel like I'm going to fucking hate this jump! Wasn't that bad. You see, when it actually comes down to pure platforming, and okay, never mind. When it actually comes down to pure platforming and not some kind of bottomless, like, bouncing on enemies kind of shit, I'm not too bad with that. But that death was stupid on my part. I'll be the first to admit that. Getting crushed there, like, I had no business not seeing that. That being said, though, I like this part. This part is satisfying. And I think, like, satisfaction does require a certain amount of difficulty. But not necessarily so. It requires the promise of death, not the actual risk of death, if that makes any sense, right? So for a platforming section to be satisfying, I think it is way more important for something to feel dangerous than to actually be dangerous. And I understand that it might feel like there's not much of a difference between the two. But there's a lot more, like, this feels very claustrophobic, this section, but it's actually not that bad once you just, like, walk around a little bit. It's actually decently easy. Whereas the bottomless pits, they didn't feel as threatening as this, but they're actually a lot less forgiving. And I think the combination of things feeling threatening but being forgiving is what you want as a level designer in a platformer. Okay, we made it 2 checkpoints in so far. We made it 2 checkpoints in. I do like, and this is something that I complain about a lot in specifically platforming games, but boss fights, and I know that's not a boss fight, but this is... I'm assuming that the next level is going to be mostly a boss fight or a boss rush through all the fights that we've already had. But boss fights generally in platformers have very little to do with the actual platforming mechanics that you've used throughout the game. So far, this seems to be a combination, at least this level. And frankly, I think actually, like, the boss fights in a lot of platforming games are the final levels and not the actual boss. The actual final boss is usually just there because it's a game, so it needs to have a final boss. I think the actual, like, final boss challenge of most platforming games lies within the final level before that boss fight. Where Crash Bandicoot 4 is a very good example of that as well, right? Where right before the final boss fight, the final section of the final level is a gauntlet which you just have to, like, immediately complete with all of the mask mechanics that you've used throughout the game. This does a pretty good job of that. It's using mostly every mechanic, I think, as far as I can see right now, that you've used throughout the game. So, that being said, I'm getting absolutely fucking destroyed by these ninjas, so let's maybe use this power, just to say fuck you. That's a really difficult jump, and every time you miss it, you get damage, which is actually a pretty interesting way to do it, because when you miss that jump, you're going to fall down a screen, and as a result, you're always going to fall on top of that other ninja. That being said, you can just literally do that, and you'll be fine. But you need to keep spamming this magic in order for that to work, so maybe it's not the most ideal way to go about doing it, and maybe I should just jump a little later. No, definitely don't jump later, and I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die. And I'm not talking about in-game. This game is actually going to kill me. Because holy fucking shit. Finally! That's not even going to be a checkpoint. Like, that's way too easy to be a checkpoint, right? Oh, you can counter those attacks. That is amazing. I love that. I don't love the fact that I only have 2 HP. There is a thing down there. Please tell me you are, in fact, a chicken. You are a chicken. You are my hero. How the fuck am I supposed to do anything with this? Again, you can tell when I press the key for a short. Note to self, maybe use a different key. Then again, it's the what's that key called? The tilde key is what I'm using for marking my shorts. What fucking game uses that key? And okay, don't die here. Do not die. I died. That's the 3rd checkpoint out of 4. We'll be fine. Surely we'll be fine. This section, not a fucking problem. I just damage boost through those. Twice. I use invincibility magic here because I can't be fucked dealing with any of this shit. I do more or less the same thing here, really. And I keep abusing the invincibility magic until I get this done. Is really what's happening here. You know what? I'm just going to wait and kill you first. And use this in midair. And this time the jump wasn't an issue. Again, those archers very much are satisfying. The samurais, a little less so. But they're not even that difficult to counter, right? But most of the time, parrying or countering an attack in general in most games tends to be fairly satisfying. It's not an easy thing to make, is all I'm saying. I honestly don't know how you're supposed to get down there, is the thing. Oh, never mind, it's actually not that difficult, right? You just do that. And then this becomes a hell of a lot easier because you don't have to jump down. Oh, fuck me! Okay, maybe that doesn't become a lot easier. Funny thing is that getting onto the platform is the thing that's throwing me. It's not even the slipperiness. It's probably the slipperiness is why I'm so nervous about getting onto it, but still. Fuck me. Okay, we can do this without magic, that's fine. This, however, I will not. You know what? We'll just try again. We're learning. We're improving. We are getting better. Ceiling samurais, not as much of an issue anymore. Okay, that was honestly bullshit. Oh, fuck me. Wait, you can... Oh, you can shovel bounce up there. That's probably the way that you're supposed to do it. That feels a lot easier. Okay, no enemies here to distract me. This jump, I have no business not making anymore. As I said, I have no business not making that jump anymore. I've made it twice, which means I have to make it every time now, or otherwise I'm a useless piece of shit! Okay, that didn't quite work out the way I had expected and or hoped for. This, however, fantastic. And now we do 1, 2, 3. You don't bounce on the third one. You don't bounce on the third one. That's why that bit is difficult. Because you have to time the magic with not having a bounce. Yeah, that's the entire thing. I understood that first time around. Second time around, just got purged from my fucking memory, apparently. Anyway, that's another short. Maybe it is. I don't know. At this point, I'm more or less spamming the button, which means that I'm probably going to, like, half the things that I'm marking as potentially interesting for shorts are probably not actually going to be okay. That does not give you any time to use the magic, because I hadn't had it selected, because I just pressed the button that for some reason clears your magic. Why would you ever want to have no magic selected? Okay, let's just get going. Apparently there's also a secret on the bottom left there, which I just accidentally uncovered because I wasn't paying attention. And suddenly that jump is difficult again. I don't know why I'm suddenly inconsistent with it. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I ever was consistent with it, actually. I made it like twice in a row. Maybe 3 times. When do you call yourself consistent at a jump like that? Is 3 times in a row enough? Is it? I feel like if you can make anything 3 times in a row, it kind of depends on how many times you've done it in general, right? If you've done it 100 times, you do it 3 times in a row. I don't think you can really call it consistency yet. But if you've done it only 10 times, and out of those 10 times, you've done it 3 times in a row, I feel like you are justified calling yourself consistent at something. Okay, we got the checkpoint. Holy fucking shit. Darkness. As I said, every mechanic comes back in this level, and that includes mechanics that I fucking hate. And, of course, there's also the dragons, more samurais. I'm gonna die. What? Where do I go from here? Do I need to murder these enemies? How do I progress there? Count me confused. We're 75% the way through the level, at least I'm happy about that. I wonder if this level itself is going to have a boss fight, because this very much feels like the prelude to the final boss fight, and as I said before, it feels like potentially the final level is just going to be like a boss fight or a boss rush. Oh, that's all there is to it. You just have to figure out which block to break. Sure. But that might mean that this is the only proper full level in the game that does not have a boss fight at the end. I hadn't really thought about that before. Give me money. Food, actually. Yeah, that's what I wanted. I don't need money. What do I... Sometimes I wish I had a face cam. Which actually I'm thinking about just buying a webcam. The issue is why I don't have a face cam is because I don't own a webcam. And why I don't own a webcam is because I convinced myself that like using my my like €1,500 mirrorless camera is just better quality. And I mean, it is. But if that then ends up with me not using it because it's too much of a hassle to set up, which honestly it kind of is, is there really any value in it? Also, I can't use it together with I don't need to eat that again, but sure, I can't use it together with the capture card, because the only way for me to use it is either to record it. Okay, so you can tell which ones are solid. You can tell which ones are solid because they have the particles on them. It's either to record it internally onto an SD card or to use the HDMI out into my capture card. But then I can't capture like my Switch or my PlayStation. Of course, Black Knight is the boss fight for this one. And then the Enchantress is probably going to be the final boss, I'm assuming, right? This can only go well. I want you to stay away. I still have boss unaliver magic. Yeah, so The short that I called Boss Killer Magic is... Oh my... Holy... The fuck was that? So yeah, the short that I called Boss Killer Magic got demonetized. Didn't have monetization enabled to begin with. But because it has the word killer in the title, I presume. What the fuck kind of Sephiroth shit is this? Okay. I like this fight, but also fuck this fight. I think. Maybe. Dude really just turned into Sephiroth, didn't he? This is one of those fights that I'm just going to go over manually to select shorts, because I frankly do not have the time to take my hand off the controller to press the button. That's honestly what it comes down to there. I'm going to mark my first death that's going to happen here any moment as a cutting point, just so that I know roughly where to look. But yeah, I'm about to die here, and nothing is really going to change that. So there we go. Okay, Ultimate Black Knight is what we're going to call that, because it sounds cool. At least you don't have to sit through that cutscene again from the start. I want this magic too. Can I unlock this magic? Of course I can't. It kind of like maybe I can in like post game or something like that. But it feels like Black Knight is supposed to be like a negative version of Shovel Knight. So it feels like he should only use magic that Shovel Knight can use. And well, he just got hit by like the Enchantress, like with full magic power. So I suppose that makes a certain degree of... Okay, that's just... I suppose that makes a certain degree of sense is what I was gonna say. But holy fuck, you aren't going easy on me at all, are you? Need to... This magic. You know what? This magic in general is just pretty good as well. Oh, that takes a lot of MP apparently, because my magic is run out. I feel like if I bounce on the glowy bubbles and I die. I feel like with that digging attack, if I bounce on the glowy bubbles, they might like rebound into him, because why else would you make an attack like that glowy while the other attacks are not? Right? He digs up 3 of those bubbles every single time, but only one of them glows. That means there's either that one is extra dangerous and the other 2 are not dangerous, or that one you can rebound. And the latter one seems a lot more reasonable for an endgame boss fight. Because the former one would mean that you have like a 2 out of 3 avoidance chance. Which is just... Can I dig these up? Nope, I cannot. Okay. That's at least 2 hits. That's good. We're gonna get you... Okay, 1 hit. 1 hit is fine. Just stay on a distance and use magic for as long as you possibly can. Don't use the pickaxe magic. The pickaxe magic fucking sucks. I mean, it's good, but it's really expensive. And as a result, not very, very worth it. So... Maybe just, like, attack those attacks? Don't bounce off of them, but attack them? I don't fucking know, dude. How much HP do you have? Okay, we're at exactly the same amount of HP. No. Wanted to avoid that, did not. You've got 3 HP left. I've got 1.5 HP left. I am screwed. because my magic has run out, so I need to now start attacking you physically, and I still have not figured out that attack. And you can just phase away when I'm about to attack you as well. That being said, no, okay, avoided that. Did not avoid that. No, fuck you! Okay, we've gone down to 1 HP. We can do this. I told you this was going to be a long episode. I like this level though. As much as I'm dying, I am having a fucking blast. Also because I'm actually recording this like throughout the day, while I should be doing like actual work. But I figured I've been wanting to record this for a few days, and every time at night I am like honestly just too tired to record anything. So I figure, you know what, let's actually just record during the day and do some like simple work at night rather than... Usually I would have started my work day with that simpler work, but I figured let's try out a different order of operations here, see if that ends up being more productive, because productivity is definitely a thing that I do need. Okay, that was a real good magic. That was a real good magic use. We're ahead in HP. We're not... We're still ahead in HP, actually. Never mind. No, that's a difficult attack to time. Your response to, anyway. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh fuck yeah! That's the most amazing end ever! I love that! That's such a difficult boss fight, and he's just stuck in that animation, so I could just absolutely annihilate him. That's amazing! I love that. Okay, let's go to the actual final boss. I don't know if the episode is going to cut here, because it's a whole other level, or if we're just moving straight into the final boss here in one episode. I'm assuming there's going to be a whole other level. So maybe see you next time. Maybe we're going to keep going. I don't know.